Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Excellence Talks. As usual, together with Dr. Christian Forstner, we are welcoming an important guest now from a far distance, from Australia. Hello, Ahmad.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here, and yes, I'm coming in from the other side of the planet.
Ahmad, you are amongst the top 10 influencers on LinkedIn and more than 1 million followers. When you were a little boy, was this your dream job?
No, definitely not. No, I mean, I wanted to be a number of things when I was a little boy. I wanted to be a pilot. At one point, I even wanted to be a dentist. Don't ask me why. I'm kind of glad I didn't pursue that. But one thing I always loved to do was I always loved to perform, and I always loved to be creative. And so, over the last 15 to 20 years, I was mainly involved in the sales space. And I enjoyed sales because it gave me the opportunity to present and to and to really build relationships and communicate, which is all the things that I love to do and that I'm good at. But I made a decision about a couple of years ago that I was really just going to follow the social media path. I found I had a gift for it. I found that I loved creating content, and I found I was slowly making an impact with the following that I had at the time. And so now I'm more or less dedicated to it. So I spend all of my time, let's say, performing. I'm either doing something creative like creating content or helping my clients create content, or I'm presenting, hosting, communicating, doing the things that I absolutely love. So I can't say that I would have thought I would have been in this position 10 years ago, but I'm very blessed to be able to have, 1 million plus followers now. And I get to communicate with them, and I get to inspire and impact people on a daily basis. I'm so very blessed.
Thank you, Ahmad. We know you because we are one of the 2 followers of you, and we enjoy your daily inspirational, excellent contents.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You have achieved your current status in a very short time. What are your 3 key success factors?
Great question. Look, I would say, number one, you have to be able to differentiate yourself. So, I mean, social media, irrelevant of what platform you're on, is saturated right now. And LinkedIn is definitely not as saturated as other platforms. But you'll find that if you want to build a following, if you want to build a community, you have to be different in some way. You have to have an opinion. And so the first thing is I would focus on having different or compelling content. In fact, different and compelling content. And so I've focused quite heavily on posting daily content, but also posting content that is a little bit different. It might be in the way I deliver the content in terms of the creativity. It might be in the way that I deliver the topics that I discuss. But I try and focus on differentiating myself, because branding essentially is the art of differentiation. The second thing is social media only works if you're focusing on it being social. Okay. You can't have social media without the word social. And so I would highly recommend that you do just that. You are not only there to post content yourself, but you're there to engage on other people's posts, engage on other people's content, add some value through your comments. And you'll find that the more love you give, the more love you get. And the law of reciprocity really does work. And so dedicate time each day to actually engaging on other people's content as well as posting your own. And the third thing that has worked for me, which regardless of what platform you're on, doesn't matter if it's YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, whatever it might be, the best and fastest way to grow your following is to leverage off other people's followings, right? So that might mean building relationships with influencers and having influencers support your content. It might mean doing a whole bunch of collaborations, and collaborations are a great way to leverage other people's audiences, because you're working together. You then get access to their audience, they get access to yours. And if you're doing a number of collaborations every single month, you're getting access to an audience that you didn't have access to prior. And so it really just expedites your journey to building your following. So number one, compelling and different content. Number two, make sure you're engaging with other people. The more love you give, the more love you're going to get. And number three, leverage of other influences or other people's followings by best working through collaborations.
That is very, very helpful, Ahmad. Thank you. Not only for us as Excellence Talks, but obviously for everybody who watches this. Simple, but effective.
Yeah.
Ahmad, we are watching you, we are following you, and we see you manage a large variety of interesting topics every day. But one seems to be your all-time favorite, and it's about kindness. Why is that?
Great question. I put out a post recently that said, my mission is to help make this world a kinder place. And I wouldn't be on that mission had I not been treated kindly. I wouldn't be on that mission had I been treated kindly. And what I meant by that was, look, in my earlier years, throughout schooling, I was bullied quite a lot. I experienced quite a bit of bullying. I was very different. I was an immigrant, arriving into Australia. I looked different. I sounded different. So I did experience quite a bit of bullying through those years. And throughout the years, I chose to do something different, because when you're put in that position, you can either do one of two things. You can either reflect, all the pain that you've received and start bullying other people or being unkind to other people, or you can take that pain that you've been dealt and use that as a way to help serve others. And that's what I've chosen to do. I've chosen to do the latter. And that is all about kindness, and I'm not just talking about being kind to others. I'm also talking about being kind to yourself. Because that's one thing that I didn't do when I was much younger. I was very critical of myself. I had very low self-worth. I had very low self-esteem. My confidence was almost non-existent because of the things that I'd been through. And I realized that I just simply wasn't being kind to myself. And so that's something that I focus on every single day. It's important to put things in perspective. It's important to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. And you have to be kind to yourself, because life is not easy. Life is actually very, very difficult, but it becomes much, much easier when you have that self-love, and that self-love will emanate and you'll reflect that onto other people when you practice that daily. And so kindness for me is not just something I practice. It's a core value of mine. It's a core intrinsic value. And it actually governs every single relationship that I choose to build and foster. And it also governs every decision that I make. And so for me, it's a very big part of my life. It's a very big part of my family's life, and all the people that I choose to interact with and build relationships with. And it's a reason that we all get along so well, because, you both reflect kindness in your daily lives, and the way you treat other people is, it's right up my alley. So you are definitely my people.
Thank you very much, Ahmad. And, that's amazing. And I keep following you since a long time, and you keep posting stories from your life and how you developed. And I can just recommend everybody just to watch and see how this smart man developed from a little boy to what he's now. And that's just amazing. And it is authentic. I mean, you reflect kindness, Ahmad. So you're a role model, I think, for us.
Thank you.
And you just topped that. Since January, I think you are proud ambassador to the Royal Office of the United Arab Emirates, a quite exceptional title. If we add your influencer role now to the picture, what are the synergies between the two?
Yes, I'm very, very honored to be part of the royal family, and they're an incredible team. And the first thing that I noticed and felt when I visited the Royal Office, and it's the private office of Sheikh Ahmed bin Faisal Al Qasimi, was their hospitality, it was their kindness, it was their generosity, and it was their willingness to speak to everyone the same way, regardless of what level they're at, regardless of their status, regardless of their title. And I thought it was just a very, very beautiful thing. But they're looking to make an impact. In fact, they are making an impact. And what they're doing is they're building very, very strong bridges between different nations, between different races and cultures and religions. And you feel that when you're there. So they're actively working on initiatives that bring people together. I just love that. So I mean, where I come into the equation is as an ambassador. So as an ambassador, I represent them globally, and I also help them with my influence. So it's very much a mutual benefit. So where I can, I help to talk about their initiatives. I help to talk about the Royal Office. I help to talk about Dubai and UAE and the beauty of it. And it's very easy to do those things because it's genuine. It is such an incredibly progressive nation, and I know that you frequent there often, Christian. It blew me away the first time I visited it. It was almost like a future city, and to think that it was literally built over the last 50 years, literally in the last half a century. It went from being arid desert lands to what it is now, a futuristic metropolis. And so I'm very, very honored with the relationship that I've built with the Royal Office. I'm very proud to be able to represent them. And I'm looking forward to doing some incredible things. And there are some amazing things planned that I can't talk about right now. But, when I say that the mission is to bring people together, and the mission is to narrow those gaps and build those bridges, we're very much focusing on that.
Wow, that's amazing. And I guess from my own experience since more than 12 years now, I think the UAE are definitely the most interesting and amazing country on earth. And what they've achieved in such a short time is just incredible. So so your role fits perfectly well, I think, there, and it's part of your journey towards the future. And here is our last question then, Ahmad. You seem to reinvent yourself extremely fast, again and again. What would be your next ambitious goals?
I'm working on a number of projects right now that I'm super excited about. Some of them are within the entertainment space, which I absolutely love. And it's not something that I can speak about now, but please stay tuned to that. Mm-hmm. What I plan on doing more than anything is really leaning into my strengths, and my strengths and my gifts are in presenting, in communication, and trying to serve people, trying to inspire people, empower people with those strengths and with those gifts. But I also want to focus on doing things that I just absolutely love to do. Since I left the corporate space, that was the commitment that I made to myself. Actually, I made two commitments. One, that I would focus on doing the things that I love, and two, that I would never wear a tie ever again. and so far, so good. So look, you're going to see a lot more of me doing the things that I really love to do. And it's not only going to make me happier, but I'm going to be able to serve a lot more people in the process.
Murad, what an amazing man, huh? Ahmad Imam. Yes. And I keep looking at your motto, just beside your head. Your best is yet to come. Isn't that wonderful, Murad, as a motto for life?
I fully agree with you. As always, it was a pleasure to talk with Ahmad. He inspired a lot to us. We follow you every day in the different contents, and we are really eager to look for to learn more his new projects. And probably he will not wear the tie, because we know that in the future that he will be perfect producer and he will do the great project, and we will be inspired with him.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
And of course, thank you very much for sharing the kindness to the world. You are the role model for the kindness, sharing the kindness.
Thank you. And we need it now more than ever.
Exactly. Thank you, Ahmad, and all the best for your future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.